All right. So it looks like at least on my clock, we're into the 8 o'clock hour. So welcome everybody. Um, I'm assuming I know everybody on the phone and everybody knows me. Um, so I won't do any big introductions, but I'll just sort of go over what we plan to do this morning. So as I mentioned on social media, we'll just have a brief little introduction. We'll do some guided meditation, sort of exploring the body, the breath, and the mind. Um, and then we will meditate quietly, um, and then wrap up with a little prayer at the end. And it'll probably be about 30 minutes total. So the purpose of meditation, if there is a purpose, is sort of two things. Most of you have heard me say this before, but it always bears repeating. So the first purpose is maybe what we're really focused on this morning is tranquility, which is, calming the busy and anxious mind. And there's no shortage of anxiety in these times. And the second is, of course, insight or vipassana. So tranquility is shamatha, and insight is vipassana. And the insights that we gain are things that come over time in a meditation practice, but they're things that we learn about ourselves as we meditate, but also, those things that come into the mind when we've quieted it. These can be really good ideas or really good observations, or in some cases, resolutions of some sort, like resolutions to be quieter, both in the body and in the mind. So our exercise today is hopefully to get a little tranquility, and we're gonna do that by bringing ourselves to the insight that I think I've gained over time, is that, and through learning about meditation, is that peace of mind comes with our ability to connect to our source of strength, which ironically is the people, the community around us. And it just so happens that now we are being artificially starved of that. So I want us to remind ourselves through this morning's meditation that despite the distance, we are still connected to the world around us. And it may require new and different ways of reaching out, for instance, Zoom. But the connection is always there, and we can always reach down for it, for strength and comfort and peace. So in the school of sort of Eastern traditions, there is the tantric traditions, which are sort of secret teachings, secret in a different way than you might think, but they are really directed towards opening the senses completely, almost in an unfiltered way, to what's around us. Um, and so, and the benefit of that is, and you may have heard the word tantric used in a not very religious way, but in almost in a sexual way. But it is intended to be a metaphor in many ways in the teachings, in that it is akin to the connection between lovers. And so if you take away sort of the sexual aspect of it and think about your connection to, you know, a person who you deeply love, it's complicated, rich, and sustaining. Um, and if we think about it in terms of our connection with the world, um, you know, especially in these times when one of the few activities we can do is maybe go out for a walk in nature, um, there's a perfect example of connecting to the world and feeling the leaves crunch under your feet, and the air crossing your nostrils, the rain sort of damp on your face, um, and for uh, the pounding of your feet on the pavement as you move at whatever rate of speed that you are moving. These are all ways that we connect to the world, and when we notice at the end of a walk or a run or a, you know, something outside, that we are rejuvenated, refreshed, and a little bit less anxious. So let's now turn to a guided meditation where I just want us to reconnect and remind ourselves of our ability to um, quiet the mind and set aside all of the distractions that prevent us from really just being connected to the world around us. So the first thing I want to do is just for each of you to just place your hand over your heart. And then really let that touch between the hand and your chest become the focal point of all of your attention. And you may already find that you are drawn more inward. You notice subtler things like the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. You maybe notice the feel of a heartbeat, along with any other internal sensations you have in that chest area where the hands are in contact with your chest. You may notice a difference in temperature between the surface of your skin underneath your hands versus not under your hands. It's a little warmer. If you're like me, with the poor circulation in my right hand, I notice the cold on the outside of my right hand. And just follow that connection and that your body's and mind's natural ability to become more and more subtly engaged with what's going on in the small space of you. And now take that warmth that has sort of gathered at your heart, um, and imagine that your heart is a little tiny sun, a little radiator of warmth and light. And just allow that warmth and light to very slowly and gradually expand into your body. And so you may feel the warmth and light expand to the shoulders and down to the solar plexus. Allow it to expand to the front and the back of the ribs. As you notice, the upper torso fills with the warmth, the light, and your awareness. And as your awareness expands and notices, you may notice things about the body or about the breath that you hadn't noticed before. So maybe one of the first check-ins is your posture. You know, how are you in terms of sitting comfortably with your spine in a sort of equilibrium, a balance that allows you to rest comfortably in the position that you're in. If you're not, you may notice strains on different parts of your back or your neck, or even tension in your head, your face. Maybe adjust a little bit until you get the feedback from your body that, in fact, yes, oh, this is much better. And then settle into that. Notice the equilibrium. Notice the increased comfort. And notice the peace and the tranquility. And if you're like me, notice the kitty. And if you don't, just maybe let a smile come to your face, into your heart. And continue to allow that warmth and light and that smile to expand up through the throat, the nasal cavities, the roof of the mouth, the space in which your eyeballs rest. Notice your eyeballs in the sockets. Are they relaxed? How about your jaw? Is it tense? Adjust. Let the body find its own ease. Allow the crown of the head and the scalp just relax over your skull and the skin of your forehead, your eyelids, your cheeks, and your lips. Let them all take in the warmth, the light, and the smile. Let's follow that attention, that awareness to the lower parts of the body, out through the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, all the little bones of the hands and the fingers. Let the muscles and skin drape over the skeleton to find more ease. Feel the warmth and the energy in the palm of your hands. Let the awareness, the energy, the light, the smile expand down to the abdomen, the hips. Spend a little time letting your awareness explore the tension and the holding that happens in the hips. And not so much by force of will, but by exploration and letting go, finding ease and relaxation within that complex bundle of bones and muscles and sinew that is your pelvis. It is your strength. It is your power. And it is a whole bunch of complexity bound into one area. Taking what you can get and accepting it gratefully. Allow that ease to move into the thighs, the hamstrings, the back of the knees, that open space, the calves, the shins, the ankles, and all the little bones of the feet and the toes. Those feet that absorb the entirety of your body every day, up and down stairs, on sidewalks, on moving from one place to the other. Let them enjoy a little bit of that peace and light and energy and smile. Again, letting the bones relax, letting the skin and the muscles just drape over. And now let's turn off our exploring, purposeful mind for a few minutes and let that awareness just rest comfortably throughout the body. Just as we do so, take a moment to find that posture, that ease again briefly, so that when you do rest purposelessly, you won't become uncomfortable. So, one, check in posture. How is the spine aligned to support the body? And then once you find that ease, let that awareness again span out from the heart center, grow into the entire body. And then, as if you were just setting it down, let it sink into openness. We'll continue like this for the next 5 minutes or so. If the mind and the body are distracted from this sort of gentle watching, bring the mind to the breath. You can count your inhales and exhales. You can say, breathe in peace, breathe out love. Or you can just follow it. And then again, settle in to quiet watchfulness. So now we're going to gently come out of our meditation. Allow the next breath to be a little bit deeper. And on the exhale, bring some movement into the fingers, the toes, and the spine. The next inhale, a little bit deeper. And on the exhale, if your eyes aren't open, you can open them slowly. Notice how you feel. For everyone, it's different. It can range from frustrating to rejuvenating. But do notice that it was a little bit more deeper. It was a little deeper and nuanced and real, the connection. And regardless of its emotional quality, it can be sustaining. And that is the connection to the world. And from that, you can draw strength, tranquility, insight. And so there is the Buddhist little secret to being connected to the world in the time of pandemic. I'm just going to end, as I always do, with a little prayer. May all living beings have happiness and its causes. May all be free from unhappiness and its causes. May all dwell in equanimity, free from attraction and aversion. May all quickly find the great peace that lies beyond all misery, and may all enjoy inner and outer peace, now and forever. Namo Ammitofo. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.